President Obama hoping to release another 19 detainees from Guantanamo Bay before leaving office next month. Closing the prison has been a key promise of Obama's presidency, describing the facility as, quote, expensive and unnecessary and is, quote, a recruitment brochure for our enemies. But recent reports show that almost a third of released detainees rejoin terrorist groups, leading to the question, is closing Guantanamo safe for the United States? Joining me now, former military police sergeant Christopher Neiweem and former U.S. Navy SEAL Dave Sears. So, Dave, you know what really gets under my skin is that good men died in Afghanistan and elsewhere capturing these people and putting them behind bars. And now we're just releasing them. Doesn't the memory of those men who died deserve more than this?
It absolutely does, David. You couldn't be more right, except for one part. Good men are still dying because of their release. We know that Americans have been killed by released prisoners, so it's just exacerbating the problem.
Sergeant Neiweem, in July, the State Department named a former detainee as one of those involved in a terror attack in Turkey that killed dozens of people. So releasing these terrorists isn't just harmful to the memory of dead servicemen, U.S. servicemen. It's actually leading to the death of other people around the world. Shouldn't other people beyond U.S. citizens be upset at this?
Absolutely. They should be outraged. I mean, there's a such thing as a bad idea, and there's a such thing as an extremely bad idea. And releasing these people, they're dangerous. They're there for a reason. And as someone who's detained some of these dangerous individuals, they're there for a reason. These are not unruly college students in a classroom. They are very dangerous individuals. We need to take this seriously, and this is extremely troubling.
Now, you have been actually involved with the detainees or in detaining some of these people. What is their attitude? A lot of people say, well, they're just like regular criminals. These are people who are highly intelligent very often, who can disguise their intent, because I understand one of the terms for their release is if they're in good behavior, just like they're a normal criminal. These are not normal criminals. These are people who can appear to be fine and cooperative, but in fact have very evil intentions, right?
That is absolutely true. These are the worst of the worst. These are very dangerous individuals, and they're sophisticated. They can covertly hide their intentions, and we've seen the statistics. We have quantitative information from the Office of National Intelligence that are showing that nearly a third are returning to threaten our troops. I mean, these are people in the next generation of veterans next to me that are out there in harm's way. We need to make sure we're protecting them and getting this right. And it's extremely disappointing that after 8 years, President Obama is still completely dead wrong on this issue and has not matured on it at all.
And Dave Sears, some of the countries to which we're releasing these prisoners are not quite up to speed in terms of how to deal with them. Uruguay is one, and at least one terrorist has escaped their grasp, has disappeared. We don't know to where. Bosnia has received a couple of others. They're neither equipped in terms financially equipped or in terms of intelligence, their own intelligence to deal with some of these people who have highly sophisticated ways of communicating to terrorist organizations around the world, right?
Absolutely true, David. And the Uruguayans, they couldn't find that guy when he escaped. The Brazilians had to look for him. This was right before the Olympics as well. So you had a terrorist. And as Chris said, these guys aren't just the fighters. They're enablers. They are the leaders. They're guys who can go out and recruit. So these aren't the low-level people that are being released. They are high-level guys that are going to cause more harm, and the other countries they're going to, largely classified, by the way, that we don't know which countries they're going to, are not equipped to deal with tracking and monitoring these guys.
Sergeant, we've only got 20 seconds, but are more Americans going to have to die in order to recapture some of those that we've released?
I certainly hope not. I mean, that would just be the real shame in this whole thing. And again, as was just touched on, many of these are release agreements with these allies of ours. We don't even have the details. We don't know if they're going to be watched, if they're going to be secure. It is really a risk that we should not take, and we should not be going in the direction we are. And hopefully President-elect Trump, which I think he will, move us back in the right direction on this issue.
Sergeant Neiweem and Dave Sears, good to see you both. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.